you talk to people who've been in church all of their life, it could be strong Bible preaching, gospel teaching churches, and you talk to them about whether they're saved, and they say, well, I hope so. What in the world do you mean you hope so? Well, do you know you're going to heaven when you die? Well, I sure am trying hard. Why would you say you hope so or you're trying hard if it's been woven into the fabric of your heart that it is by grace you have been saved through faith, not by works, lest any man should boast? When you realize you've been saved by grace, you're not hoping so, you're not wishing so, you know so. You know that you're saved by the grace of God. And you don't want to preach it to someone like I just preached it to you. And I don't act this way in a one-on-one conversation, but you say, you know, when someone gives you that little hope so kind of thinking, your little radar goes off, works-based salvation, works-based salvation. And you say, you know, there are these two verses I learned some time ago, written by St. Paul in the book of Ephesians, and it's chapter 2, verses 8 and 9. Would you mind if I quoted that to you, or we could look at that together? What a great passage to bring up in a conversation. And listen, some of the people who need to hear Ephesians 2, 8 and 9 are some of the most religious people you've ever met. They go to communion, they go to whatever they call their worship services, confess this, that, the other. They've been to confirmation classes, but for many of them, they are building it on a system of what they do to get into heaven, not what God did to get them into heaven. It's all based on what Jesus Christ did for us, not what we do for him. This is the difference between grace and works. So good works cannot save us, only God's grace can save us. So there are really two views of salvation in our world, works-based and grace-given. Here's a problem with works-based salvation. Number one, it's deception, and it can lead people to hell. Do you agree with that? When people are led to believe they can ever be good enough on their own and not trust 100% in the finished work of Jesus on the cross, that is a prescription for going to hell. No matter how well-intending people are, right? It's kind of weak in here. Do you hear what I'm saying? Good works will not cut it. But this is what's so sad. That you believe in a works-based, self-righteous effort basis for being saved. How do you ever know when you've done enough? How do you ever know when enough is enough? And not only that, many people who believe in a works-based, personal effort attempt to be accepted by God, they see their good as canceling out their bad. I've talked to people who believe this, like the scales of justice, you know? And if you have enough good, you're hoping it'll just kind of tip the scales in your favor, and God will cancel out the bad and overlook it and let you into heaven. That's not how it works. How sad it is that people are striving to be saved on their own and they never truly know if it's good enough. That's why that little childhood prayer is so theologically wrong. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Do you realize if you're saved, he's already taken your soul? He already holds you in the palm of his hand. He's already stamped his seal upon you to keep you saved until the day of redemption. You don't have to cross your fingers when you go to bed or when the plane is experiencing turbulence and you're wondering, oh God, I hope I make it to heaven if this thing doesn't land. You don't have to do it. If you're saved, you know you're saved, and it's not, you have to hope your soul he'll take. He already has your soul, and when you die, you can know you're going to heaven because you're saved by grace and not by works. This is liberating for those who are bound in a legalism and works-based righteousness.